Hi, this is again Vasant Ponkshe, a retired bank officer for Bank of Maharashtra, and my mobile number is 9422319827. As you are aware that I am running my own videos with the different series. The first series was appreciated by one and all, that is Bidar Bank Nationalisation. Now this second series going on, Bank Nationalisation to Bank Privatisation, in which I am covering the period from 1969 to 2020. And I'm coming before you with the last part of the series, that is video number 4 of the series, 4A we can say, in which I am covering the period from 2005 to 2020. So let us start. I would like to tell you that when I was researching for this period from 2005 to 2020 till I'm preparing this video, I have made different observations as far as this period is concerned. And after the complete research, let me share my feelings with you. But my personal feeling is that, my personal observation is that the record says, it's a speaking record. Record says that during the period from 2004 to 2014, a 10 years period, we can say it was a golden era as far as the banking is concerned and as far as the Indian economy is concerned. And lot many initiatives have been taken in those 10 years. Lot many initiatives, so many committees, so many study groups, so many directives from government, so many directives from Reserve Bank of India. And we can say that it was a golden era. I would like to go 1 mile ahead of all these things, and I would say that the basic structure of Indian economy through banking, through finance, through insurance, through other public sector companies was built up during these 10 years, and that has helped the subsequent period to come up with flying colors. But the basic structure has been created and prepared by the different government from 2004 to 2003, 14. I am not in politics. I am not talking about politics, but the record says so many initiatives. You may take the financial inclusion, you may take Jandan, you may take direct benefit transfer, then you may take Manrega, then you may take your laws about the customer importance, laws about RTI, and so many things. So initially, I would like to place my 3 main observations. First observation was the performance of banking and insurance and other financial sectors from 2004 to 2014. My second observation is about the performance of public sector banks. As I have been telling you, that because of deregulation in so many areas, the banking was not exception to that. So everything was deregularized. That time everybody was feeling that these nationalized banks will not be able to withstand these competitions. But I'm proud as a bankman, I'm proud to share with you that no doubt the nationalized banks have withstood with all type of competitions, with all type of deregulations, and you name any facet of the banking. I feel that nationalized banks have scored nicely, have performed well, the employees have relentlessly sacrificed, the management have taken prudent decisions, RBI and Government of India have also taken keen interest and proper supervision and directions. And during these 10 years, you name the area as I told you. The technology development, nationalized banks created world-class technology platforms. You take mobile banking, you take internet banking, you take Aadhaar seeding, more than 90 crore Aadhaar cards were seeded with different accounts. Then you take agricultural debt reliefs, then you take housing loan, then you take educational loan, gold loan, CASA competition. More than 40 crore Jandan accounts, wherein the balances are more than 1,31 crore thousand. You take gold loans. Then I would like to share with you one important figure, that there are more than 5 crore 73 lakh credit cards in the system introduced by nationalized bank. There are more than 89 crore 94 lakhs debit cards in the system. And you'll be surprised to know that more than 21.83 lakhs POS machines which are operating in the Indian economy through merchant banks and all that. And number of ATMs are more than 2,30,000. Then coming back to the schemes, you take Mudra loan, you take corporate loans, you take consortium finance, you get infrastructure recovery of loan, then responsibilities of RRB, then you take SLBC, SHG, then crop insurance. And I would like to share with you that any banker working in a branch is required to face more than 20 to 25 deadlines every day. Any banker working in a branch or administrative office or even head office of a bank is required to apply for implement the compliances, some government compliances, some RBI compliances, some statutory compliances. So that is how these banks are bugged up. And what makes me more proud and what makes me more happy that banks have gone beyond their traditional business of collecting deposits and lending. They went into mutual funds, they went into medical insurance, they went into life insurance, then they came with different subsidiaries, then your trustee companies, then your wealth management, then your you can call it as a will management, so many things, portfolio management. So there is not a single area where nationalized banks have failed vis-a-vis private banks. At the same time, nationalized banks were required to honor the commitment given by Government of India to the general masses, Indian masses. So on one side they were facing the competition, on the other side they were following the government guidelines, and in such a situation, even though they were a little bit sandwiched, they performed exceedingly well. More than 1,50,000 branches, and you can imagine the deposits. Of course, I have got the figure of Cedar Commercial Bank. The latest figures of July end is 1 crore 2 lakh 19,462 crores of deposits. And the advances, I'm sorry, these are the advances. And the deposits are 1 crore 40 lakh thousand, 40 lakh, 1 crore 40 lakh 20,000 487,000. To that extent, they are working more than 4 lakh banking correspondent and banking finance supporters. They have been working more than 8 lakh 59,000 employees. They have been working. So you name the area in the nook and corner of the company in the country, and they have played a large role in uplifting the poor masses of India into the upper middle class. Now it's a different story that those who have benefited in those initiatives of banks and financial sector, that middle class have some different opinions today, but that is not the topic of our today's video. And I would like to share with you, and we should always remember 80-20 formula. In those days, the business composition of public sector banks vis-a-vis a private sector bank in those days in 1990 or say 84-90, it was 80-20. 80% business was being handled by public sector banks, 20% by the private sector banks. But now, today it is around 70-30. So that benefit we would like to give to public sector banks. And in spite of this competition, they stood at number one as far as performance, as far as service and all these things are concerned. And as a banker, we should be very proud of that. And at the end of this series of this video, I will come with another data which will tell you that in spite of doing so many things, there is a lot remains to be done for the Indian masses. There lot remains to be actively an active help to the masses. Now it is okay, DBT and direct transfers, it is helping. It's entire through nationalized banks, more than 90,000 crores, 1 lakh crores. Funds are moving thanks to nationalized banks. So, about their performance, I would like to say that but for the NPAs in different sectors, you take power, you take telecommunication, you take infrastructure, you take housing loan, you take shipping, you name the area where the system has gone difficult, and that is why big corporate accounts, they have become NPA. If that position would not have been there, if banks were not required to take haircut to the extent of 6,50,000 crores, then imagine how best the public sector banks would have been. But again, I would like to state here emphatically with my humble observation that the base for all these things was built up in 2004 to 14, and subsequently different initiatives taken by subsequent governments, जिसको बोलते हैं कि चार चांद लगा दिए, and that is how public sector banks have come forward for the nation building. As we know that not to criticize private bank, but private banks are required to be prodding is required to follow the government schemes. Apart, this is not the topic of this video. The third point I would like to, my own observation I would like to share with you is that I personally feel that public sector bank, for that matter, banking sector, you take cooperative, you take RRB, you take postal bank, all these banks. Then the railways, then you take postal department, you take BSNL, you take general insurance company, you take LIC, and to some extent you can consider Air India also. All these 6-7 sectors have contributed a lot in giving results as far as the national integrity is concerned. BSNL is at the nook and corner of the company. At the time of crisis, BSNL comes forward. At the time of crisis, railways come forward. At the time of crisis, bankers, they come forward. At the time of crisis, LIC comes forward to help the government. RBI comes forward to help the government. Insurance companies, they come up. Medical insurance, different insurance, they come up. So these 5-6 sectors, I personally feel that they are the good catalyst of national integration is concerned. We take a pride that India is a nation, unity and diversity. We have diversities, but at the same time we are united. And these 6 sectors have played a vital role as far as the national integrity is concerned. But you will observe that knowingly or unknowingly, all these 6 sectors are facing problems today. This is not the issue of blaming anybody. But banks are in problems because of the huge NPAs and all these things I said. Now government wants to privatize them. Railways, we observe because the railways could not work for more than 5 months, 6 months, 4-5 months. Problem, funds management is a problem, and more number of railways are being, routes are being privatized, then stations are being privatized. So there also the air for privatization is there. Air India is on the block to be sold. Again, they are thinking that in LIC government should reduce their stake. In other public sector banks also, they are thinking that government should reduce their stake even below 51% if it comes to. When we talk about postal bank, though the entire ownership, 100% ownership is with Government of India. Now they say that all RRBs and post offices, they should be clubbed, and 1,55,000 of postal branches and 60,000-70,000 of RRBs. Let us make that as cluster. It's a difficult experiment. And if all these sectors simultaneously, if all these sectors are facing problem, my worry is that they should not fall short of maintaining their zeal, of maintaining their motto to be catalyst as far as the national integration is concerned, and we all will hope that they will come back with the flying colors. Now, this was the third point I wanted to place before you. Now, let us go a little back, as I told you, that different sectors have created problems. They have their own problems. And bankers are required to provide. Bankers are required to take haircuts. Now, the issue is there in the Supreme Court that whether interest should be charged for the moratorium period. They say the amount is around 2 lakh crores. We don't know what is going to happen to that. There are some teething problems in IBC, NCLT, then the RBI circular 12 February, we know everything. Then there is a problem was IFNSL in Indian economy, then Templeton Mutual Fund, they had to close six of their funds. Then people say demonetization, there is a problem, but bankers have done exceedingly well in terms of demonetization. Then there is the issue of implementation of GST. Whatever this side of expert, those expert, that expert, they say let us not go into that. But situation remains that bankers are required to take a tough call. And unfortunately, huge number of frauds have taken place. But the involvement of bank staff that has not been there, but the systems and technology has gone so much ahead that the frauds have been taking place and banks are required to provide because there are. Now, interesting factor is that in spite of all these things, the faith of general public in public sector bank is unmoved. You will be shocked to know that during last year, April, May, June, July quarter, say 4 months, the deposits in public sector bank increased by 3 lakh crores. But during the same period this year, the deposits have grown by 6 lakh crores. You imagine, people are withdrawing money from different sectors and they are putting their funds to the public sector banks, and I think it's a matter of great pride for the public sector bank. When globalization was started taking place in 91, then further reforms in 2005, 9, 14, 16, 17. As I told you, the Mudra loan, direct tax benefit, Jan Dhan, and JAM has been profoundly campaigned by the present government also. The achievements of public sector bank are no less. And it was thought that time that in the era of globalization, public sector banks will not be able to withstand. Now, on the other side, uh, two important situations have taken place. The longevity of Indian masses is going on, and another observation has come, another report has come, which says that by 2050, the India's population will be more than 164 crores population. But at the same time, experts are saying that at that point of time, the Indian economy would be touching $25 trillion. Today we are struggling for $5 trillion, but in 2050, the economy would be more than $25 trillion. And they say after 2048 or 2050, the rate of rise of Indian population will come down. So at that point of time, the economy will grow, population will come down, and that will be the most best and goldenest era as far as the India is concerned. Suraj ug jayega, like that we say about that. And I am convinced that to cater the economy of more than $25 trillion, reforms are required to the bank. But reforms being, is it privatization is the only reform? And as I have been telling, the other observation that the reforms which took place from 4 to 14, it had a human face. The reforms took place, but it did not hurt the common people. It did not disturb the rural poor. It did not disturb the urban poor. And in subtle way, the reforms have taken place. And that is how, when we talk about this period, 2005 to 2014 and 2015, the present government has also taken large initiatives. They went for what we call as Indradhanush 1 and 2, then Gyan Sangam 1 and 2. The seeds were sown during previous government, but the legacy has been continued. And that is why we say that we should be proud as far as our performance is concerned. And then we'll go a little back how IPOs have come, how in different areas public sector banks have forwarded and developed the Indian economy under the guidance of both type of governments, previous government, present government, and previous RBI, even today's RBI. So I think now more than 17 minutes have completed, and initially I explained my feelings about this, my observations about it. I have no intention to criticize anybody. I have no desire to pinpoint anything as a lacuna, but my observations are simple, straight, humble and honest. So at this stage, I conclude part A of video 4 of my second series, and kindly await for part B, in which I will be covering number of things about IPOs, then about the poverty ratio of India, how it improved, how Manarega was improved by the present government, how petroleum and national gas initiatives have been taken by different governments. About that I will be talking in my next video. That would be part B of video number 4. So at this stage, I stop here, I conclude. I thank you very much for watching my video, and I am happy that all my videos are getting fantastic responses. And to share with you, I have already completed my recording of my forthcoming videos about success mantra for a bank officer. Small 4 videos I have completed. That will be my third series. And I will be giving lots of tips to the young officers, old officers, every age people, that how they shall remain relevant to the industry and how they will prosper, how they will ensure that their banking industry will also prosper. This I wanted to share with you. So bear with me. I conclude here in part A. Await for immediate next part B, in which I will be covering so many initiatives taken by Indian government also, and I am sure my presentation will make all bankmen proud that they are the real nation builders of this era beyond 2000. Thank you. Thank you for viewing. Thank you.